Hello everyone and welcome to another video and episode number 1 of a series I'm going to call The Wintering, which is going to focus entirely on what it looks like fighting through the winter, through the shorter days, through the cold, through the wet, through the rain, all the things that Scotland and the rest of the UK has to throw at us, and why it can be so rewarding to take those things head on, tackle what is ultimately a more miserable environment to train and exist in, and why that can be so rewarding for us as individuals and as athletes, because it really helps build resilience, build tolerance to the things that we need to learn to deal with to be efficient endurance athletes and just general human beings along the way. The more we can build resilience in everything, whether that's in training or our day-to-day lives, the better prepared we will be for when things go south, which, as the past 12 to 18 months have shown us, can happen pretty drastically. But today is going to be a 30 to 35 kilometre run along the coastline. This is in Portobello in Edinburgh, for those that don't know. I'm going to be running all the way out to North Berwick, more or less. So it's pretty decent hit on my feet, and this is basically my first reintroduction to building an ultra endurance engine on my feet. And that will become clear as to why very soon. But for the time being, I'm going to crack on, and before we go any further, it's important to ask a few things from you. So first of all, please remember, if at any stage you do enjoy the video, to give it a like. That's what it's there for. If you haven't subscribed already, then do. As you can see, it's quite dark. This is called The Wintering, and I will take you out into the deep dark depths of winter and do unspeakable things to you if you do not subscribe. Just maybe I'll put something in the notes saying that's not actually the case. Don't sue, please. And if you enjoy the video at any stage and have anything to say, please do drop a comment down below. But it's just after 6 AM now, light is sort of just starting to seep through, and I am ready to head off on my feet. So I will get cracking in 3, 2, 1. So point number 1, as the Royal Marines would say, be bold, start cold, or if you're lucky enough to have access to a car with somebody holding a camera the whole way, then you can dispose of layers. But it's that time of year where you'll start warm, and then within a few minutes, once you get moving, you'll feel really hot. And believe me, speaking from experience, that can get really frustrating quite fast. So definitely the right thing to do. If you've got access to a kit bag where you can layer up and dump stuff off as you go, brilliant. If you don't, then the Royals have got it right. Be bold, start cold. Point number 2, so might sound like your mum, but make sure if you're dreading getting out of bed first thing in the morning, as I was this morning to be perfectly honest, it's cold, it might be windy, it might be wet, you might think I can't be arsed, I'll put this off. Make sure to lay your stuff out the night before, get everything you need ready so you're up, get some food on board, clear your bowels, get some hydration on board, and you're out the door, as I was this morning. See you later. Alright, point number 3, habits. If you've had habits throughout the summer, throughout the autumn, etc. I know we're kind of in autumn still now, but do your best to stick to them. You've had those habits because they've underpinned your life for the past however long. If you drop them now, everything else will fall apart. So if that means getting up at 6 and going for a run every morning, don't be the person that says I'm not going to do that anymore because it's a bit cold. If you maintain those habits, nutrition, sleeping pattern, how often you read, all these things that you do, all these things that are popular when it's easy, do them when it's hard, do them when it's more challenging, and they'll reap even more rewards. Anyway, About 17k in, average pace is 5:36 per k, 1 hour 34 elapsed, and feeling very solid until that last little stretch there, where there was a bit of undulation, a bit of trail to deal with. I honestly have not felt like I've exerted a single unit of energy, which is pretty exciting really, especially given, not gonna lie, been a bit of a YOLO week. 240 squat on Monday and got split in half by 250, as you can see here. Yep. Cool, that happened. Anyway, very pleased with 240, and then, because I was a bit miffed about getting split in half, I went full YOLO swag and tried to deadlift basically 180 for some speedy doubles. That felt great. So then obviously abandoned the plan and worked up to 240 for a single, as you can see here. Went pretty well, I was pretty pleased with that. Anyway, so given that I've had a pretty strength dominant week, I'm really quite pleased to be feeling like I've exerted zero effort to this point, considering pushing it a little bit further than 30k depending on how things feel, but gonna get to North Berwick and see how everything is holding up. You never know, in 10 minutes time I might start to fall apart, might have an asthma attack, might get hit by a car, might get shot on by a bird, who knows, goodbye. Okay, so 2 hours, 8 minutes elapsed. Actually started to feel quite heavy and sluggish on the softer ground, but I've settled into it quite nicely. Anyway, point number 4. So, very popular phrase flying around social media, YouTube, is get comfortable being uncomfortable. However, if you view the winter as an opportunity to be uncomfortable consistently, then you will gain a lot more from it. So, it's quite easy to make yourself uncomfortable on your own terms. So, long bike rides with the boys when it's sunny and pleasant, easy. Miserable track sessions when it's sunny, you can do it with your top off and you don't need to worry about all that, easy. Longer runs when you're not worrying about wind, rain, layers, trail bags, etc. Easy, well not easy, but easier, brackets, IER. So what the winter does is a great opportunity to basically change the environment you're working in, which means everything you choose to do is a big win because you're doing it in harsh conditions, which means when you come to the end of the season, you're much better prepared for when things get tough. You can push your pace a little bit more, you can push your volume a little bit more, and it will feel like a piece of piss in comparison. So, whilst I'm a little bit cold, it's actually not that bad anymore, it's perked up a little bit, but whilst I was a little bit cold, I've settled into really enjoying just all this pace. Average heart rate's at about 145, give or take. Beautiful evening. What am I I'm obviously not eating enough food. Beautiful morning, it's not even 9 AM, and yeah, I'm actually just really enjoying being settled into this. And you know what, I'll be completely honest, I present myself online as somebody that's always completely infallible, completely resilient to all this stuff, but I did not want to get out of bed this morning. I want to stay in bed, it was cold, it was dark. The easier thing would have been to do was just phone up, say, you know what, not happening today. I've got my first sort of evening out with all my friends in quite a while tonight to let my proverbial hair down, and I thought, you know what, just take the weekend off, just chill, but no. I'm here, I've got it done, I'm happy that I have, and I've won round number 1 versus the winter. Game on. Use Fergus's Gymshark link for the sick clothing, description down below. All jokes aside, these are the 315 shorts which are made for lifting. Hello Holly. Ah, Dolly, hello. But they actually work really well for running as well. So 31.43k, average pace 5.41. I think average heart rate was around 1445. 1445, that was not correct. 145, but this cut out a few times, so it was conversational pace whole way through. I'll put the data on the screen for you all here from Strava. What's it got? Average heart rate 151, so 2 beats per minute higher than I expected to be, but it is what it is, and maybe it was off wrist a little bit today. So, all jokes aside, lesson number 6 is that I appreciate a lot of these things I've said today are somewhat easier said than done for some. It comes with practice, but at the end of the day, if you want to fight against that sort of lull that comes with the winter and the darkness and all that stuff, especially from a training point of view, from a mental health point of view, from a just challenge yourself and pushing yourself step by step, day by day. It's something I found very, very rewarding over time. So something that I was musing on back there was that I'm at my fittest in the summer, but my fitness is most rewarding for me in the winter. So take that as you will. It's been very, very good fun to just get back onto my feet for some list pace stuff on my sort of home turf. Been a while since it's just been run focused rather than brick focused, or getting what I can in whilst travelling on my feet. So very pleasant scene to finish on. I think that's it in terms of lessons today. What I'll do is build that out a little bit as a strategy over the rest of this series, but that is episode number 1. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, it'd be very foolish of you if you hadn't subscribed by this point. So we'll take a second to 1, subscribe, thank you, and 2, like the video, but I'm assuming you've done that already. So comment down below as well with any thoughts or feelings that you have, even if you just think I'm talking utter rubbish, but please do let me know. So that is episode number 1 of the Wintering series. We will build that out as we go. I don't know what episode 2 is going to be, so let's just say goodbye.